When police approached the man from the video, they realized it wasn't a rifle sticking out of his backpack. It was an umbrella. So what could the next top Democrat look like? Well, some political experts say it wouldn't hurt to have someone a little younger. McCrory ran against Purdue in 2008 and lost in a close race. As they leave, students tell us what they enjoyed most about the president's speech, striking a chord the way they say he connected to them. Skiers and snowboarders agree there's no better way to bring in the new year. The prosecution is trying to tie Jason Young to the scene. There is garbage and pieces of this building scattered all around, a big hole where the front of the building used to be.
I love North Carolina.
UNC junior Emmeline Penn cheered in a crowd of thousands of her peers while listening to the president speak.
I think it's awesome that he's here. It's so inspiring. And we're excited. We're like little Beatles fans. We're about to scream our heads off.
Like many of these students, Penn has a personal interest in what the president is discussing: college loans.
It's a struggle for some of us.
President Obama is trying to prevent Congress from doubling the interest rates on federal student loans come July. If that happens, Penn says it will negatively impact her well-being and livelihood.
I don't live a lavish lifestyle, so I don't really know what I could even cut back on.
As they leave, students tell us what they enjoyed most about the president's speech, striking a chord the way they say he connected to them using his own personal story.
How he related that he had to go through what we're going through as students and getting federal loans, and he made that connection to the students, and I believe the students greatly appreciate that.
He's not really from a wealthy family, so he knows exactly where we're coming from. He's not just doing this because he feels like he's supposed to, like it's just right. It's morally right from his particular experience.
Penn hopes the president is successful in getting Congress to act, because if she has to pay back more, Penn fears she'll be a burden on her parents in the future.
Cutting into their retirement fund even. I mean, I don't ever want to be a burden on them, but that's going to end up happening. They're not going to let me starve, but I also don't want to impact their future well-being.
In Chapel Hill, Rebecca Fath, News 14, Carolina. Anyone who ran into Captain Chris Woofter while on his latest mission overseas felt like they were seeing double.
You know, we've seen that name before.
Because these two Air Force reservists are brothers.
At lunches and dinners, whenever I show up to the chow hall, and there's my brother.
The Woofter brothers were randomly stationed together for 3 months during a deployment in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. They call it a rare but lucky occurrence.
We had Thanksgiving dinner together, which was really cool, and we ran together a couple times.
And there's more to this coincidence. The brothers weren't even supposed to end up in the same country.
We ended up going to the same location in Southwest Asia.
And they joined forces again for the trip home.
We've done Ironman together, we've done all these races together, we've done a lot of stuff together, and so it was just, I was just telling him today, I'm like, I can't believe we're coming home together, which was super special for our mom.
It's a real blessing.
But twice the worry for 10-year-old Brianna Woofter, missing her dad and her uncle.
It's kind of scary because you don't know if they're going to come back or not, and you're wondering, is he going to be okay? And when he doesn't call, you're kind of freaking out.
But they're both glad to be home together at last.
I can't wait to go home and sleep in my own bed and eat something besides baked chicken.
With real sausage, right?
In Goldsboro, Rebecca Fath, News 14, Carolina. Prosecutors are contending the Young's toddler daughter Cassidy may have witnessed the murder of her mother. They describe how Cassidy was playing with dolls 2 days after Michelle was discovered.
She laid the mama doll face down on the bed, and she had another doll. She said the mama doll had a boo-boo and was being spanked.
Cassidy was in the house when her mother was found dead almost 6 years ago. The daycare instructor who witnessed this behavior will soon testify. The judge will allow the daycare instructor to testify strictly about Cassidy's actions, but is unsure he will allow the instructor to testify what Cassidy said until after a run-through without the jury. Also Friday, an SBI agent showed the jury a pillowcase, evidence from the day pregnant Michelle Young was found. On it, marked in blood, the print of someone's shoe. Investigators found 2 sets of shoe prints in the master bedroom, which didn't match any of the shoes in Jason Young's closet. CCBI agent Andy Parker also found many fingerprints from the scene, some belonging to Jason, which is to be expected because he lived there. Parker says something that caught his eye, a partial palm print on the molding of Jason Young's closet door.
There were some correspondence between Jason Young's fingers.
However, he could not match the prints with Jason Young, but he says Young can't be excluded. Parker says 6 prints from the crime scene have not been identified. The prosecution is trying to tie Jason Young to the scene. His attorneys have pushed the lack of physical evidence connecting him to the murder. Young has testified he was in Virginia when Michelle was murdered. At the Wake County Courthouse, Rebecca Fath, News 14, Carolina. Things are back to normal on ECU's campus after a very tense day.
At first, just had like a rush.
Freshman Marvin Lee spent 3 hours in Brewster Hall, stuck in his history class when he heard the school was put on lockdown while police were searching for an armed man on campus.
It's kind of hard to explain, rush of emotions, just let everybody know, like family members and stuff, but it settled down after a while.
It started in the morning when police received calls about a man walking around casually with what appeared to be a weapon. Social networking sites led police to surround a bus and search a residence hall.
There's a lot of rumors, people on Facebook and Twitter, seeing all the rumors going around, people talking about there might be hostages.
When police approached the man from the video, they realized it wasn't a rifle sticking out of his backpack, it was an umbrella.
As far as sending out a lot of misinformation or fictitious information and cause us to basically, for lack of a better term, chase ghosts.
But police say even though it turned out to be much ado about nothing, they urge people to call with information like this in the future.
We'd rather have this 10 times over than to not have someone call and something tragic happen on campus or here in town.
Students say as stressful as this day was, they felt like they were in good hands.
I wasn't nervous at all. There's ECU police everywhere and Pitt County Police Department everywhere, so it wasn't really anything to be worried about.
All the teachers were well prepared for a situation like that, and we have gates at Brewster. They lock the gates so nobody can come up the stairs or anything. So I felt pretty safe the entire time.
In Greenville, Rebecca Fath, News 14, Carolina.